another episode of Polite as Fuck.
Heyo.
Back at it. Happy Wednesday.
Hope you have a lot of energy today.
Yeah, feeling it. The sun, high UV last week. So, hope it's good now. I'm trying to think of the future.
I've been loving the foggy mornings.
Yeah.
The gray mornings.
Yeah.
Because in the afternoon I'm dying.
Yeah, it's nice.
But it's nice.
Yeah, well, oh my gosh, what are we talking about this week? Oh, yeah.
Trad life.
Trad life. Did you ever read that book? Did you start that book?
Trad life?
No. The one that a lot of the podcasts have been talking about the trad wife. Oh, fuck. It's
Did you read it?
Yesteryear or something like that. No, I didn't. It's just I felt like a lot of podcasts were talking about it. That's why it feels like kind of
that
up
was
your
the one that
alley.
was like an influencer that like
Yes,
went and actually
travels.
did the
Yes,
things
yeah.
in real life.
Yeah.
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 No.
It's kind of on topic, but
Yeah.
I know,
We're
I was
not trad wives.
no, but not trad wives. I feel like a lot of the like themes that we've been talking about recently and just like in our lives in this moment of time has been kind of like, okay, in which direction are we taking like path-wise? And I think there's a lot of like conversations around like relationships and family. That's like one bubble, and then you have like your career and income and just like financial future goals, and that's like one bubble. And then you have, you know, friendships and where you like your space, you know, and your outside time, and that's like hobbies and stuff, and that's another bubble. And it just feels like I just think back to my like 30 episode or whatever and just talking about all of those things and being like saying like, okay, I have some direction, but also like not really having direction, but feeling like I need to reflect. And I think just some conversations I've been having with myself recently of like, okay, I've been like itching for change, but I don't know what that looks like, blah, blah, blah. And I think I was talking in therapy about just where I thought life was going to go and like how there are just like some, like when I was a kid or whatever, even like in college, how I thought like my traditional life path was going to take me. And now that I'm like kind of looking back and trying to make decisions while also like thinking about like what's best for me and how I got to where I'm at, of just like how hard it is to like do the traditional path if that's not what you want to do, and then how like easy it is to be like, man, I wish I did this, or I wonder what life would look like if I did this, like following a non-traditional path. And I don't know, it's just like something that's been on my mind of, yeah. Did I explain that? I think my brain kind of just was like,
and we're done talking.
And we're done. I kind of gave out there.
No, I think it
my
makes
monologue
sense.
can only last so long before I like am like, okay, I can't even hear the sound of my own voice.
It does make sense. It is really timely, I feel like, for things I'm also talking about in therapy. But I feel like my whole life I have like a all or nothing mindset in a lot of things. And so it was like when I look back at like my late teens, early 20s, I was like, well, this is the path you have to take. Like, you get married, you go to college, you get married, you have kids. That is the path. And I feel like I was like all in, trying really hard to be all in on that. And then when I was like, this is like doesn't feel right for me, this isn't like working for me, it was like, then I want none of those things.
Yeah.
And I went to like live by myself abroad and mess around with guys and like not have a relationship and not have like goals or ambitions for family and not do a typical career. And then it was like I burnt myself out on that pendulum. So then I was like, now I gotta move and I need to like have a full-time job and I need to start like figuring out my dating life and so it's just like I feel like I've constantly just gone back and forth in this pendulum of like I need to do these things because this is how life is meant to be lived, and then rejecting it because it doesn't like feel right for me. But it's like, why can't I find bits and pieces of it that just like are what I want, and actually thinking about what it is that I want and not what it is that other people are doing, and feel like we were on a sibling FaceTime call the other week, and I don't even remember what we were talking about, but I know my sister meant it as a joke, but she was like, well, yeah, you're almost 30, or you're 30, like, figure it out, like, something like that. And, like, I wanted to be like, shut up.
Don't you just love siblings? Don't you just love them so freaking much?
I do. Like, I'm thinking about it right now because I'm like, is that her speaking? Is that like the world speaking and being like, this is what you should be doing, so like, why aren't you doing it?
Yeah.
And like, maybe if it is her and that's like what she wants to be doing, that doesn't mean that I've fallen behind or that I'm like not doing it the right way, because it's like, maybe at her age I wasn't equipped to like be getting married and doing all these things.
Yeah.
And I am glad that I'm not currently. And I'm not like saying she shouldn't be,
No.
you know?
Yeah, no, that is, yes, to everything that you just said is exactly how I've been feeling and exactly what's been coming up in my life. And I feel like what kind of led me to this thought was just talking about these like different voices I have in my head, and like that's like where the parent thing came from, because I feel like when it comes to all of these issues, I feel like I'm pretty open about talking about whether it's like career, those bubbles that I just said. I find myself having two different voices of like being very like, go with the flow, it's chill, it's fine, do what brings you happiness, you don't have to follow like the main way that everybody is living their life the way that they always have, blah blah blah. But then I have this other voice that is like, if you want to be successful, you need to have drive, you need to follow the rules, you need to be very strict, you need to be doing these things in order to get to your like destination, blah blah blah. Realize that those are my parents talking. You guys can guess who's who. And it's just like everything that you just said, especially about like the pendulum, is so like visually like helpful, because my like not even revelation but like kind of low-key revelation in therapy this week was just like, and what about if you had all of those thoughts and all of those feelings and then ended it with like, and that's okay? Because I just find myself like, for example, something that's just like right here on like the edge of my brain constantly is like career, because it's just like I find myself like, certain family will be like, have you applied for jobs, blah blah blah, and I know that they are coming at that as like a future Ellie will thank you for getting back into like having this like quote unquote career that has like health insurance, that has PTO, that has ways to invest in all of these things, like very future and forward thinking, which I appreciate, and I do sense that it's coming from a place of love, even though it's like stressful as fuck. But there's also a part of me that's like, I've been there, I've done that, and I don't have a pull to do exactly that job, but I also don't have this motivation to be like, okay, well, let me start, maybe not like fresh as, but like start kind of new and fresh and like work my way up in order to have those things. Like, that's not super appealing to me. And there is a part of me that it's like, while I'm a little embarrassed working at a restaurant when I'm 30, and like the thought of like, okay, well, what does 5 years look like? This is like legit the conversation I had in therapy of like, what about if 5 years from now I'm like 35 still doing the same thing? And she's like, and sit with that. And like, and what about if you just finish that horrible train of thought with like, and that's okay, how does that make you feel? And I'm like, it's like embarrassing, but it's okay. Like, who gives a fuck?
It's
like,
literally you that's living the life.
Yes.
So if you're okay with it, then you can be okay with it.
And it's like, not saying that that's what I'm gonna do, but it's like, that was my worst thought in the moment. And it's like, in these times where I find myself kind of like stumbling or spiraling on these like big bubble pictures of like, oh, I'm not doing enough to be this person. It's like, exactly what you just said about your sister. Where is that coming from? Is it coming from like what I truly want and like my values and feelings and what's going to bring me joy? Is it coming from like the way the world is telling me to feel and think, you know? Or is it like, you know, I talked about a few weeks ago my addiction to Instagram reels, and it's like, while some of them are fun because it's like go travel, blah blah blah, you kind of find yourself spiraling and finding yourself being like, oh, well, why am I not living my life like that? Blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I really have to stop myself and be like, this life is traditional because it's like traditional to me. It's not like non-traditional. And I think to like exactly to what you just said of like picking and choosing certain things from certain aspects that I find joy and happiness, like career, relationships, and like making that my thing, you know. But I do, yeah, it's interesting because I'm like, is that what just, and I think we've used this metaphor before of like, is that really what just growing up is just kind of like the swinging of this like pendulum is just kind of getting like more narrow,
Yeah.
like, or whatever, and smaller until you kind of just die.
Wow.
Not necessarily where I meant, but like kind of.
You just stop.
Yeah. just dead. But
Yeah, maybe. I do think with the career thing, I know we're in different like careers and phases and whatever.
yeah.
It is really hard because it's like you want to be able to accept where you're at and find like contentfulness in like your day and your living, and we've talked about like romanticizing your life and all that, and I do think that's very true. I think I'm speaking for myself, like it also is hard to be like, why would I change anything like if I'm okay, if things are okay. And I, for myself, am like, I have a job, I have an income, I'm bored out of my fucking mind. I feel like I'm losing critical thinking skills, but like, why would I change it up? And there was girls' night the other night, and one of our friends was recently laid off, and it's like, sometimes I just wish, and I know I was just laid off, so maybe I shouldn't wish this again. But it's like, when you have a forced change, it really does make you be like, okay, I'm gonna do the thing I said I've been like toying with forever.
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't want to go back into tech. Like, I really love events. I love like being around people. She's like, I want to get back into bartending. Like, when I think about when I was having like fun and enjoying life, it was when I was doing these things. And like, she has a friend who started like they do like weddings and stuff, and they have like a trailer, not
it's like
a trailer,
a mobile bar
yeah. situation. And she's like, that seems so fun. I want to do that. And she's like gonna help them with like their marketing and all this stuff. And it's like, if she hadn't been laid off, she would not be doing any of these things right now. One, because she wouldn't have the time, and two, because it's like, when you're in the phase that you're in, you're like, why would I need to change it, you know? Or it's like, you can just think about it and think about it and think about it and think about it. And that's as far as you get, because you don't necessarily need to do anything about it. So it's like, I'm, for myself right now, finding it difficult to like make a decision, put a foot down. Like, I'm looking at or thinking about, I have all this time right now, so why am I not like starting my own thing, you know, like working on side projects? And instead I watch Off Campus and changing the towel racks in my bedroom, which like, those aren't bad things to do, but I will forever, and this is also just related to like things I need to talk about in therapy, I will forever find tasks that I can put above the thing that I'm like, this is the thing I've been thinking about for a year now, but like, I don't need to make a decision, so I'm just gonna, it's easier for me to make a decision on this smaller thing. I'll do that instead.
It reminds me of, what do you call, or how do you say, is it like type 2 fun or type B fun? Is that, what's the right one? Is it type 2?
Type 2.
Type 2. Because I'm like, that's where I struggle with. It's like, granted, that's the explanation or the meaning is more towards like outdoorsy things, I feel. But I guess you could use it in this, like in this thing where I'm like, it's not right now. I literally have like no vision. I wish I had like an idea of like even a side project or something to work towards, but it's like I fear that I just don't even have that. But it's like, when I did, or if I did, it's like the starting and the momentum and just like the doing it is so hard. But I know that because I've done this before, right? I know like in the future I'll be grateful for that. But it's like, fuck, these like type 2 fun shit is so difficult just to start.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. Well, that has nothing to do with this like traditional whatever that I was talking about, but I do relate to that so heavily. I think I just am like, I don't know. I think when I That was what I was going to say. In regards to like the social media that I was saying too, I find it so comforting in some aspect where I'm like listening to podcasts or following people. I've gotten back into Substack, which I'm like I'm kind of liking right now, except for like the political side, which gets like a little overwhelming.
Yeah.
But I do find myself following and gravitating towards people that are like some women that are a little bit older that have like, I don't know. I think that's why I really like Girls Gotta Eat, because they're like very older sister, and I feel like we've never had that.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see people living a different life. Granted, they have like more money, but I think that there is something like really nice and to see that played out in real time and knowing that it's like what you're doing is not wrong. I guess I think it's also like such a cultural shift from how we grew up and how our parents grew up, of just like how younger generations are viewing marriage, jobs, careers, moving, like lifestyle things. Like I think it's very fluid, which I feel very like privileged and grateful for. I just have to remind myself to like, I don't know, calm the fuck down sometimes when I am really like upset with what I'm doing. Like I find it so debilitating, and I think it stops me from doing a lot of just like fun life stuff, because it's like I'm holding out. I feel like I don't deserve. I just think of like, I'll say no to certain things, whether it's like hanging out with friends or certain like just even putting myself out of my comfort zone for the sake of like, oh, I should save money. Oh, I should use this time to like be looking at a job. Never do. And I'm like, I should just say yes and just live in this like, and that's okay kind of lifestyle for a second, instead of beating myself up, and like then who's to see what kind of comes from that.
Yeah.
And I don't want this to be interpreted as like, oh, she's putting it off again. That's not what I mean. I also kind of am like, so what? Like, and so what? Because at the end of the day, you know, I feel very lucky to have like a family that if something were to happen, I feel like taken care of. But at the same time, it's like, I'm taken care of. Like, I may not have all of these things, but it's like, I have, you know, enough money to live in this really fucking awesome house. My dogs get a plethora of food. And I just spit when I said that, but like, you know, they're well taken care of. And like, there are things that I can just really mentally have this switch of like, and that's okay. And like, it's just okay to be not traditional and live your life like that. And it's okay to also do that if you want.
Yeah. I think the trap that, I mean, our friends have called out before, my therapist called it out, we've called it out, is like falling into this, like, I should. Because it's like, why should you? Where is that coming from? And like, I do that all the time in my life. I'm like, oh yeah, I should insert whatever thing, instead of like, I want to do whatever thing. And it's, I do think that like, there are times in my life where I'm like, yeah, I should do, I don't know why I can't think of literally an example right now.
Well, like, even just like the gym or cooking dinner or like something like that, working out, like a fine stuff like that, I find myself doing too.
Yeah, and then there will be days when I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to go do this thing. And it's so much more enjoyable. And like, that's not to say you should never do anything you don't want to do. Like, sometimes you need to do hard things, and that's okay. But it's like, when you're forcing yourself to go through all these things in life because it's what you think you should do, that's miserable. That's actually like not unenjoyable. Like, no wonder you're not excited to do anything, because you're doing all these things that you think you should do.
Yeah.
And that's just like,
what's crazy is like, I find myself doing that so much to even just like basic tasks. Like, I put off the grocery store because it's just like automatically not fun. And it's like, I am an adult. I can make it fun. Like, why do I have to like go when it's busy as fuck? Like, I say that I love this job because my hours, like, go when no one's there. I went, what day was it? Tuesday at noon. The parking lot, I should have taken a picture. No one was fucking there. I'm like, what? This is romanticizing your life, y'all. I pulled in, I did those things where you know when there's like so many spots and you can really swing your car around.
You can drive through.
I did that. It was awesome. Like,
so good.
That's what's bringing me joy. But it's like, why am I taking these like I already know as an adult, like you said, you're gonna have to do hard stuff. You're gonna have to go to the grocery store, or you're gonna have to go to the doctors, or take your car in, or like shit things are gonna happen, like it's gonna break down, or whatever the fuck, because that's what life is. Like, why do I have to make this like task that needs to get done even harder, as if it's these big, like going to the doctor? It's like, I'll smoke a joint and go to the grocery store on a Tuesday at noon because no one's fucking there. It's awesome.
No one's there,
or whatever. Or, you know, like, and yeah, whatever the should things are. Same with like the gym. I find myself like, oh my gosh, like I have to go at this time because for what?
Yeah.
For what? For why? For why, or am I making this a huge task instead of like making this like this, as it's supposed to be, this enjoyable thing?
Yeah, I feel that so hard. Every time I write my planner for like the week, I'm like, I'm going to get up early. I'm going to do this workout. I never want to do it that early in the morning. Like, I do enjoy getting up early, but I enjoy having, like, slow, peaceful morning. Mm-hmm. So why am I being, like, hard on myself that I didn't go do heavy back squats at 6 a.m.? Because that sounds horrible to me.
Like, literally.
And then in the afternoon when I, like, need a break from work and I go do it and I have all this pent up energy,
where
it's
you
great.
Can't really lift yeah, exactly.
And I'm like, so what? I'm still doing the workout. Like, why am I being so weird about this? I think just to take a step back to like the overarching combo of traditional life, it's like it can be so easy, especially on social media. Like, you wake up and you start consuming someone else's life. You go to bed and you're consuming someone else's life. And it's like, then no wonder you're not happy with your own life, because you're like, well, I should be living in Florida and running in the mornings and eating fresh fruit. And now, dang it, I should be in Alaska and doing it. It's like, no, it's not what's going to happen. What do you want to be doing?
I know. It's so true. I know. Oh, you made me think of something and now I forgot. But that's like, it's so real. It's so real. Oh, I was just going to say, like, I think just, in the theme of just non-traditional and, like, traditional life, like, these small things of even just daily tasks, like, of gym and blah, 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 what we were just talking about, of, like, making these bigger tasks even bigger. It's like, if I just make this small change of just letting it go or taking a step back, like you just said now, I find that it'll be easier to say, like, and that's okay, or just be more accepting and loving towards those, like, bigger picture things that maybe are a little bit harder to deal with, you know? Like, the grocery store and is one thing, but, like, health and the gym is one thing, but, like, health overall is another. Or, like, you know, doing little hobbies here and there is one thing, but, like, choosing a career is another. So it's, like, just kind of having that seep into your everyday will affect the bigger picture. So I don't know, that's just kind of those have been my thoughts lately.
I love that. I've been listening to we've talked about her before. She's the person that does activations.
Oh yeah,
I don't remember her name, Mimi or something.
I actually do think it is Mimi.
I don't know why it's not loading. Mimi Bouchard. I've been listening to her book. I started this book a long time ago, Activate Your Future Self, and I like very slowly have been chipping away at the chapters. Just started chapter 6, but the part that I was listening to the other day on my walk was talking about kind of the similar thing of like, there is so much good content, there's like so much inspirational stuff out there. I think going back to the pendulum, I was like so overwhelmed with social media and feeling like I'm not doing enough and I don't want to feel this way, so I got rid of everything. Mm-hmm. But it was like, no, there's stuff like Substack, podcasts, Pinterest, even videos that like make me feel inspired. But it's this balance of like creating this environment where you are able to check in with yourself and you are able to feel like, or think, what is it that I want? Mm-hmm. What is it that I need? And like, even for myself, I set my agenda for the week on a Sunday night. Well, come Thursday, I might not feel like doing these things that I had said on Thursday I need to do these things. Yeah. And so it's like taking 5 minutes in the morning to be like, what is it? How am I feeling today? What is it that I want to do? And adjusting and being okay with that. And I think you kind of need to do that for broader things in your life. It's like you might feel like, oh, this is the path I want to take. I want to have 5 children and be married by this age and do this job. But, like, as you're going down, like, you can change. You can adjust, and it doesn't mean you need to wipe away the entire plan.
Yep.
But, like, you can make tweaks to it. You can adjust the timing. You can adjust your expectations, and that's okay. And I think we're saying the same thing, but it's, like, being able to, like, sit with yourself of, like, if this is what happens, how does that feel to me? And if it doesn't feel okay, then you can change it. And if it feels fine, then you can keep doing it.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly. And that's okay.
And that's okay, guys. So if you're 30 and you're not married and you don't have kids and you don't have $1 million, that's okay.
Perfect.
I don't.
Yeah, I don't, and I don't have any of those things. Except for whatever. Oh man, no, it's good, it's helpful, and I feel like this is not a feeling that I'm alone in, so hope you guys relate to this in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I definitely do.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the fucking traditional life is anymore. I think that's being rewritten.
Totally. I'm like living on like House on the Prairie or whatever that's called.
Low-key also sounds nice.
Yeah, sounds good.
But also, then it doesn't, you know?
Yeah.
I like my, like,
yeah, if I could
bursts
choose
of,
my
like,
husband and make sure he's not like a, freaking creep older, alcoholic farmer's man, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it sounds fun for a sec.
Yeah, it's like we have the option to do these things. We also have money and don't have to do these hard things if we don't feel like it.
Exactly.
That sounds nice.
Yeah. I was listening to What We Said this morning, and they were just talking about, it's like one of their other episodes or later episodes about them doing their traveling to Italy. Have you heard that one?
Oh, yeah. I did listen to that.
And literally did not even occur to me. I'm like, yeah, I'm sure it is tough traveling with kids, blah, blah, blah. And then one of them's, I forget who's who, mentions like a car seat. And I literally was like, oh my God, a car seat.
Yeah.
Are buckles the same? Like, I didn't even like, how do you even do that? And it's like, you know what? Thank fuck. I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Not that I'm traveling in this moment, but I'm like, I honestly, like, I had to stop and, like, pause for a second because I'm like, wow, not me literally 2 seconds ago being like, it can't be that difficult. I mean, like, I'm sure it's hard, but, like, your kids seem fine and you're going with a group, Go to where the playgrounds are. You can let them run around. And then it's like, yeah, the car seat. I'm like, oh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I did forget about that, too. When I was listening, I was like, yeah, there is a lot.
There's
no wonder.
So much.
I mean, aside from cost, it's like, no wonder we weren't traveling internationally as a
no
family.
kidding. Oh, my God. I'm like, duh.
It's crazy.
Anyway, it made me real grateful for where I'm at in my life.
Yeah, same. But if you are doing that,
Great.
good on you.
Have that life. And you know what? And that's okay.
And that's okay. That's a takeaway. Wait, we had the, like, let them, let me, or whatever.
This
I feel
is
like
ours.
this is in line with that.
Yes.
That's okay. It's okay.
Yep. I love it.
Well, guys, hope you're doing well. Happy July, I think, when this comes out.
Man.
Over halfway through the year. Okay, that's scary.
Okay.
Anyway, Polite as Fuck Podcast, wherever you get your podcasts, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.